All right, so now we are officially going to change this first order of integration. Instead of starting with z, we're going to start with y. So let's go ahead and see what happens here. So now, instead of starting with what's my top function and what's my bottom function, now I'm going to be thinking what's my right function and what's my left function. And what I'd encourage you to do, if you can, is kind of visually rotate this in your mind. If I was looking at this and I was staring down the y-axis, which is what I'm going to be doing, this canoe would be pretty much, I would barely see the canoe. It would just be like a red outline because it's kind of, I'll use the word parallel. It's kind of parallel to the y-axis. It's not really going to play a role in what's to the right versus to the left because it's just, I'm not going to see very much of it. But what I will see as I'm looking down the y-axis is that this function, the bowl shape, that's going to be my rightmost function. And then my leftmost, well, we're only using positive y values. So this bowl is going to be my right. So let's go ahead and start by writing 0 is less than or equal to y is less than or equal to bowl. Upside down bowl, to be specific. Now, that's not very mathematical. So what I'm going to do is this shape is actually given by z equals 36 minus 4x squared minus 4y squared, and I'm going to solve that for y because I need an inequality that involves y. So let's add 4y squared and subtract z from both sides. We're going to get 4y squared equals 36 minus 4x squared minus z. And I'm just going to kind of skip ahead ever so slightly and get us that y is going to equal plus or minus 1/2 square root of 36 minus 4x squared minus z. So this bowl here is just going to be the positive part of the bowl. It's just going to be the positive half of this. So 1/2 square root of 36 minus 4x squared minus z. Okay. Now, I just did my inequality in terms of y. Now I want to smush along the y-axis. So smush down the y-axis. When I do that, what am I going to get? Well, I'm still going to have this z equals, so let me draw my coordinates, which will look a little weird here. I'm going to have x and z. I'm still going to have this parabola, z equals 5x squared. And then, if I'm looking at what's here, the kind of widest part of this shape is given when y equals 0. So, and you could also think of that as where these two sides here intersect. So, this here we already said is z equals 5x squared. There's going to be another shape. In fact, let me go ahead and I'm going to redraw that just so it's red to kind of coordinate with what we have. This is going to be z equals 5x squared. And then this other shape is going to be wherever 1/2 square root of 36 minus 4x squared minus z equals 0. And one thing that you can see fairly quickly is I can multiply both sides by 2. I can square both sides. That will just leave me with 36 minus 4x squared minus z equals 0. Or just z equals 36 minus 4x squared. Okay. So that's going to be what my bowl shape looks like as I kind of reflect across the, or not reflect, but as I kind of smush down along the y-axis. So that shape, as we said, that z equals 36 minus 4x squared. I should be interested in where do those things cross, but yeah, we'll get there. This is my region. Keep in mind, we're only looking at positive values here, so I'm only actually looking there. Okay. And actually, that's enough to do my next part. So now that I've done y, I want to take care of z. What's z between? We have that z is going to be less than 36 minus 4x squared, and it's going to be greater than 5x squared. Okay. And now we want to smush down, and really the important part is now we want to figure out what that point is there. Okay, so now that I've finished my inequality there, I want to smush down onto the x-axis. So smush down to the z-axis. And I'm going to get something on the x-axis. It's definitely going to start at 0. I don't know what that point is. It's 2. We kind of already know it's 2 from other stuff, but let's go ahead and justify that it's 2. I need to find what this point is. It's a mystery. How would I find it? I'd find where these two functions intersect. So we get 5x squared equals 36 minus 4x squared. Add 4x squared to both sides. We get 9x squared equals 36. And hopefully you can see that this eventually gives you that x equals plus or minus 2. Of course, we're only using the positive one. So we get that now, with all this, we find that x is going to be between 0 and 2. Finally giving us that my new integral is going to be the integral from 0 to 2. There's my x coordinates. Then we're going to have from 5x squared to 36 minus 4x squared. And then we're going to have from 0 to 1/2 square root of 36 minus 4x squared minus z. And then that is the ordered 2 dy, dz, dx. There we go. So, all right, that was a little bit more work. The next one will be fairly similar, and then it's going to get much worse. So, hold on to your hats.